This could be a problem. I have a whole bunch of cracks in my solar panel.
Let's go, take it to the top, and we don't stop, cause it's now or never. Let's go, take it to the top, and we don't stop, cause it's now. Let's go.
Alright, so this morning, well after yesterday, so yesterday was a major power draw. We'll talk a little bit about our solar, about said solar system, but you know, our solar setup. So we've got 200 watts up on top of the IU cab. The way we're parking, it's not a good direct hit on the sunlight, but in the morning we normally get really good sunlight, and this morning we had clouds, so we didn't get really that much charge. Usually by about 10:30 in the morning we're back up to 100% from the previous day or overnight usage. Yesterday though, we had a heavy charge, or not heavy charge, a heavy draw, I guess is the right way to say that. So we charged up pretty much every electronic that we had yesterday. We had really good sun, so we're talking 2 laptops, a Surface Pro, iPad, all of our camera gear. So there was a DSL camera, the DJI Pocket Cam, we call it the Pocket Cam, and what else did we charge? Oh, 2 cell phones, and yeah, I think that was about all we charged.
Our label printer.
Oh yeah, our label printer. Yeah, we did that because we did some organizing yesterday, and that needed to be charged. So when I woke up this morning, I have this nice app that actually shows where we're at with our battery levels and whatnot. It's a Victron. Here, let me get out of here because I'll mispronounce it. And even looking at it, I'll still mispronounce it. Oh, it's just automatically connecting, so it won't tell me the actual name. But yeah, I think it's a Victron.
I think it's Victron.
Or Victron? Victron. I don't know. Well, it doesn't say on there. And if you disconnect and reconnect, it'll just go right back into it because it's the app. There we go. Victron Connect. Then I connect to it. It gives me all the stuff. So, yeah, this morning at about 10 o'clock, we were at 86%, and we weren't really getting that good sun because of the clouds out there. So I broke out the 200 watt portable solar panels and got it all hooked up in there, and to see where we're going with it. So we burnt it was about 32 amp hours yesterday after the charge stopped, and because we were up till like 1 o'clock in the morning watching shows. so we had the inverter running for a couple hours last night, and to keep the Surface Pro charged and whatnot. So we had a pretty heavy draw. Now granted, we have a full 100 amp hours that we can use. The downfall with like liquid acid batteries and gel batteries is that you really only have 50% of their amp hours to use. So I have 2 100 watt gel cell Renogy batteries, and so that basically gives me 100 amp hours, and we burnt 32 of them. This morning, with all 600 watts set up on there, we've actually still been running the inverter because we had to charge up Laura's laptop so that she could work a little bit later. And I got the GoPro also on the charge too over there. So, you know, we've been having an amp draw, but we're still making about 2.5 to, it bounces around because of the clouds. But we've been making on the average about 2.5 amps on it. But under full sun, I'd be probably 15 amps is where I'd be at with a good sun on there, which would get us a quick charge on there. So we'll just kind of see how long it takes to fully charge. Can't see the time with my sunglasses. So it's noon right now, and I'll get back with you, see how long it actually fully charges this up here, because we actually only have sun here until I think about 5 o'clock because of the mountain that we have, or I guess not really a mountain, kind of the rock ledge that we have right behind us. We're up pretty close to it because it's a really nice little kind of a U-shaped area that we're in here to protect us from the wind. Last year when we were out here, it was like way high winds, so this is kind of a nice little haven from that. And so we'll see what we get in the next 5 hours. All right, we're 2 hours in on the charge. We've finally got some sun out too, which is helping out big time. We have been running the 400 watt inverter, charging up laptops. So currently we're looking at about 10. Okay, so we're running about 13 volts, 10 amps in there, and about 160 watts. So we've got 19 amp hours to go for full charge. We're at 92%. So hopefully in the next 2 hours we'll still be fully charged, even running that 400 watt inverter the whole time, charging up some stuff. So we'll give you an update here in a couple more hours. Okay, so we'll just give you an update. We've had about 4 hours worth of charging. We've had probably 50% cloud cover, so off and on. But with our inverter running constantly, it's a 400 watt, drew about 6 amps on it while charging. And then of course we have our 95 quart fridge freezer, which draws between 0.5 to 1.5 to maintain temperature. And so we averaged to gain about 6 amp hours per hour on there. Kind of had a scare with the portable solar panels because at first they drew power instead of adding power. I'm not really sure why it did that. They've been sitting in the back of the Jeep for, I don't know, 3-4 months at least, and then we just finally used them because of the partial cloudy and how much power we've been burning lately. I needed to catch up. Further north, you know, the less power you seem to get out of your solar, so we had to add those on there. But in any case, so if you happen to be familiar with why that drew, please put that in the comments below. I'd appreciate to learn that information. But now they seem to be working great. We averaged about 20 amps per hour on there, it seemed like, between the draw and then what it charged the batteries on there. So I'm pretty happy with that. But with that scare, I mean, we went around and we were checking voltages and seemed like everything was charging right. But for some reason on my meter at my station here where it tracks everything, no, it didn't like it. So maybe it was just a software conflict. But in any case, now we're almost fully charged up. We're only 8 amp hours down, which, you know, we may get back with the limited light we have. The sun's already set. So yeah, the fun for the day, tracking down solar and trying to get recharged. Thank you for joining us. Please join us next time as we hit the Pony Express Trail. And if you haven't already, please check out our Patreon page. I'll leave you a link in the description below.